Something that gets discussed a lot in music trivia circles is the quote-unquote the one-hit wonder. You know, that group that was able to record that one magical record that catapulted them to stardom for that fleeting moment. You know, that one hit, that one shot at the big time, and they weren't able to follow it up. So, you know, obviously, one-hit wonder, that's something that comes out. And there are even shows and webcasts that are devoted to, these acts are one-hit wonders, these acts are one-hit wonders. And sometimes it's a bit of a misnomer because sometimes you hear acts mentioned, oh, they're a one-hit wonder, and you think, no, there were like 3 or 4 charts that, 3 or 4 songs that they had that charted. It's just all anyone remembers is the big hit, and that's it. So, I mean, that's, it's a pet peeve of mine, and I teased this a little bit in the last episode, and let's get into it now, talking about one-hit wonders, and we'll attempt to set the record straight. This is a program that basically tells you what's going on inside the grooves. Of course, it's a program we call Platter Chatter. From the set of Goin Vinyl, this is Platter Chatter, the web series that features classic trends and classic tracks. I'm your host, Bill Robert, and before we get going today, let me just remind you, if you could, be helpful here, hit like under the screen here, hit the like button, and also hit the subscribe button, so that way you'll be in tune when we have new episodes of Platter Chatter or our main show, Goin Vinyl. And if you want to tell your friends about it, it's youtube.com/@Goin Vinyl TV. Now, the other one you can go to too is our Facebook page. We actually have a Facebook page set up, and there we tell you about upcoming episodes of Goin Vinyl and also Platter Chatter. And also, if you have an access center nearby, a public access TV center that might run the show, we'll give you listings there. We try and update listings and send them out on a regular basis. And that's on YouTube. It's at Goin Vinyl TV. So there we go. So Goin Vinyl and also Platter Chatter is what we're doing here. And by the way, speaking of Platter Chatter, speaking of the show, if there's a subject that you want to hear about, maybe it's like, oh, what about songs that did this? Or what about records that did this? Oh, we're always looking for ideas. Just hit us up in the comments here. Right down the bottom of the screen here. Just type in a comment. Hey, why don't you do this? Or even better, send me an email. Email address is billthedj@goinvinyl.com. Okay, so here we go. This is an episode I've been wanting to get to for a while because it is kind of a pet peeve of mine. I'm watching a show and they're talking about music. They're talking about, music trivia, things like that. Like, oh, great, sure. And they'll mention an artist and they say, oh yeah, well, they were a one-hit wonder. I'm like, they had 3 or 4 hits that made the top 40. What do you mean one-hit wonder? But obviously, there's a thing, recency bias, and people think, oh, there's basically, like they had multiple hits, but there's just the one song people remember, so people consider them a one-hit wonder. For my show here today, what I'm defining it is basically if an artist has had multiple appearances in the Billboard Hot 100's Top 40 chart, I'm considering that a hit. In fact, referenced here. And by the way, if you're a fan of music charts and you don't have one of these books, this one's Top 40 Pop Hits by Joel Whitburn, the late Joel Whitburn. But I mean, these you can find. And they also have like Billboard's Book of Number One Hits, the Billboard album. Billboard has a ton of different books if you're looking into chart history. Yeah, I know, you can go online, but what's the fun in that? And also, heaven forbid, say I lose power or something like that, I can just grab a flashlight, look through some charts here, and do some Goin Vinyl prep, even though I don't have access to the internet. So anyway, here we go. The legendary one-hit wonders, and I'm just going to give an example here. And the example I'm going to give is Rick Astley. I've actually seen Rick Astley referred to as a quote-unquote one-hit wonder. And indeed, Never Gonna Give You Up, the Rick Roll song everyone knows. Oh, that was like the big, Rick Astley hit, then that was it. Not really, though. He had 4 other hit singles. Now, this is the thing where I mentioned, top 40 hits. So this is what I'm using. So if they made it to the top 40 chart, they're not a one-hit wonder. Now, with that said, sometimes an act can have like a big hit, but then have subsequent singles that crawled into the top 40 and stalled at like 37 or 35. But they're still top 40 hits, so I would count them. But in the case of Rick Astley, not only did he have multiple songs that went top 40, he had multiple songs that went top 10, okay? Think about it. Never Gonna Give You Up, obviously, was top 10. Together Forever, the subsequent single, that went number 1. It Would Take a Strong, Strong Man, number 10. She Wants to Dance With Me, number 6. Cry for Help, number 7. Right there. In addition to Never Give You Up, Never Gonna Give You Up, I just gave you 4 more examples of Rick Astley songs that have hit the top 10. So if you've ever referred to Rick Astley as a one-hit wonder, please do me a favor, don't do it anymore, because it's not right. Today, we're strictly talking about official one-hit wonders. They had one hit on the Billboard chart, on the top 40, and in the U.S., and that was it. That's what I'm using as my rationale for which things we're doing now here. So once again, thanks to this book here, Top 40 Hits. And the first one is going to be from a Canadian group called Motherlode, When I Die.
When I die, I hope to be a better man than you thought I'd be. It's been hard to make you see what kind of man I'm trying to be.
So this is a song that you'll hear pop up on all these stations from time to time. It's still played on a regular basis. Song came out in 1969. On the U.S. charts, it peaked at number 18. So the band put out like 2 albums, 3 other singles in the U.S. They charted a little bit in Canada, but obviously on the U.S. charts, the only one they had was When I Die. But with that said, it's a good song. If you're going to be known for one song, When I Die is not a bad song to be known by. So that's the group from Canada called Motherlode. Now we're going to a group from Canada, I should say, to a group that's named after an American city. New York City is the one. This one's a great breakup song from 1973. The band is New York City. The song is I'm Doing Fine Now.
Remember the day you up and left. I nearly cried myself to death. Oh yeah. And then I met someone else. She made me stop and get a hold of myself. Oh girl, I'm doing fine now without you, baby.
It just starts up. Remember the day you up and left, and it was like such sadness. But then, they're coming to deal with it. They're coming to terms with it. And the chorus just says it all. I'm doing fine now without you, baby. So, just right there. It's just kind of moving along, kind of like, what's the Chicago song? Feeling Stronger Every Day. It's like, it starts off with kind of sad lyrics about a breakup, but then, Feeling Stronger Every Day. And that one, Feeling Stronger Every Day is such a great song. But we're not talking about Chicago here. We're talking about a band named after another American city, and that's New York City here. So this one, actually, they did have some hits on the R&B chart, but this was their only one that hit the top 40 on the pop chart. So that's there we go. So we're going to jump up probably about 15 years now, going from 1973 to 1980. Yeah, I think like mid 80s or so. And this is another act out of Canada. She was known at the time. She had a pretty wild look. She had like some wild hair going on, lots of dreads, kind of like a chain going on here. But if you look past all that, she had talent. She could sing, and she put a lot of this stuff together herself. So she had a lot of musical talent putting this together. If you have not heard of this, you're going to hear it right now. The artist's name is Jane Child, and the song is called Don't Want to Fall in Love. So this song was on the U.S. chart for 14 weeks, and actually on the Hot 100, it made it all the way up to number 2. So it definitely qualifies as a top 40 hit there. Went to number 4 in her native Canada, actually. Jane Child did put out 5 singles. The only charting song was her previous single, Welcome to the Real World. It peaked at 49, so it did not make the top 40, thus did not make our cut for the judging on one-hit wonders, at least once again, as far as the top 40 goes. And so there we go. Jane Child, Don't Want to Fall in Love Again. Now, once again, one-hit wonders, this is their only song that charted, but those songs are memorable. And we're going with a group right now called Edison Lighthouse. Now, there was another group called Lighthouse, and they had a song called One Fine Morning, but this isn't this. This is Edison Lighthouse, and it's a tricky title. Love Grows Where My Rosemary Goes.
She ain't got no money, her clothes are kind of funny, her hair is kind of wild and free. Oh, boy, love grows where my rosemary goes, and nobody knows how
So this was the debut single of the group and also their one and only U.S. Top 40 hit. Peaked at number 5, actually, when it came out. They actually had another song that they released in the U.S. called It's Up to You, Petula, and wound up peaking at 72, so that didn't make it here. And they actually had some top 20 hits in New Zealand, too, so there we go. And the song itself, I mean, the chorus is great, the lyrics, and that opening guitar, that ba-da-da-da-da, it just, I mean... that opening guitar lets you know that you're in for a good listen here. Love grows where my rosemary goes. I said it right twice in a row. What do you know? Edison Lighthouse on Platter Chatter. So now we're going to have something interesting here. And this is a song that, as the disco era came in the mid-'70s, this song was everywhere. This song was a monster hit. People were dancing to it. It went really high on the dance charts. In fact, let's see. But on the pop charts, I mean, it ruled the dance charts as well. But on the pop chart, it peaked at number 5. So this was a pretty popular song at the time. I Love the Nightlife, parentheses, Disco Round, and the artist, Alicia Bridges.
I want to go where the people dance. I want some action. I want to live action. I got so much to give. I want to give it. I want to get some too. I love the nightlife. I've got to forget on the disco ride.
I Love the Nightlife. I've got to boogie on the disco round. Oh, yeah, that's Alicia Bridges. And this is the album, by the way. And the reason I have this album, actually, I have 2 versions of this album. And it's one of those interesting curiosities where basically the main difference is, well, I'm going to pop the records out right here. And we'll cut in some inserts here. So on one version of this album, and once again, both here, Polydor release, so you get to see here and here. But on this one, I Love the Nightlife. This one is 3:09. 3 minutes, 9 seconds of I Love the Nightlife. So now we go to this other version, and once again, there's a reason why I have this here. It's not like these are releases from different companies or anything like that. These are both I believe, U.S. releases of this particular album. But whereas this album here, it was 3:09, here, I Love the Nightlife, is 5:37. So same record, I mean, same label. Obviously, the inner sleeve is different here because this inner sleeve came with, they're both factory sleeves, but this one here came with the lyrics and a couple of photos. And this one is just basically a plug sleeve for the record label. But nonetheless, just basically the same record, but on one version, it's just over 3 minutes, and on the other, it's 5.5 minutes, which I find is an interesting curiosity. And yes, I'm one of those record collectors who, if there are different labels, if there are variations, I will have multiple versions of an album, in my shelves here. So that's one of those where I saw that, and the funny thing is, I didn't know this originally. I found the album somewhere, I picked it up, forgetting that I already had a copy of it. And I was like, oh, well, I have 2 copies of this album now. And then one day I was playing one, and I'm like, wait, why is it 5.5 minutes? I thought it was like 3 minutes. And I look at the labels, and sure enough, they're different on both labels. So it's just kind of an odd thing there. But once again, one of the things that's fun about record collections, all the different variations and all the other stuff going on. Anyway, that's going to do it because I've already run past not my allotted time. It's my show, but still, I don't want to be boring you too often. So here we go. So there we go. So that's going to do it for this edition of Platter Chatter, where we're looking at actual, official, one-hit wonders. So before we go, I'd just like to remind you once again to click that like and subscribe button to help us out here on YouTube. It's the more likes we see, the more we can give you more content in that particular subject. Or if you want to see something specific on Platter Chatter, either drop us a comment here, right on the bottom of the screen here, or send an email to me. It is billthedj@goinvinyl.com. Till next time we meet, I'm Bill Robert, and we'll be coming your way with more episodes. More of the fun stuff here, more of the vinyl goodness from the places where the platters still matter and the records still rock. This is Platter Chatter. I'm Bill Robert. Thank you for watching.